Welcome back to the collector's edition of the 2010 Barrett Jackson Scottsdale auction coverage. Many great collections include some great customs, and Tammy Allen's is no exception. Let's take a look at Tammy's purchase of Don Tognotti's Amber Award-winning King T Custom Roadster.
Joining us now is Mark Fields, President for the Americas Ford Motor Company. Welcome, Mark. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me. Got the greatest seat in the house here.
You've got that right. And now let's go to the stage for a special presentation. Barrett Jackson Company President Steve Davis is addressing the room.
I originally built this for Don Tognotti in 1963, and it won the America's Most Beautiful Roadster in 1964. And with the car, by the way, it belongs to Ken McBride, and he's in the motel with cancer and can't even get over here to the show. But anyway, trophies goes with it, the original AMT kit, and here's a Hot Wheels of the King T. And this is one of the first cars that ever had a chrome frame rails, and the first car that had independent rear suspension. It was a really fantastic car in its time.
Folks, again, you're buying hot rod history with the legend himself. Our best wishes goes out to the consignor, Ken McBride, who has some spectacular cars. He's not feeling well today, but I'm sure he's watched us on TV. So let's raise as much money as we can for the seller. It's an opportunity to buy history right here.
Here we go, Amber Award winner.
Not only did Gene Winfield paint this car in wild lavender in 1963, when the owner decided it needed to be repainted, he flew Winfield up to Seattle in 2007 to redo the car.
It's an amazing car, guys. You know, the model kit that was done by MPC back in the day, Tognotti's T, just, I don't know, launched my boat when I was a little kid, and here it is in person. I'm dazzled.
All right, the great story about this is when this car was built back in 1964, it didn't actually run. It was a pusher. It's never actually run. To sell the car at the auction, they decided they needed to have the engine run, everything worked. They went through it from front to back and make it a driver.
Let's look underneath our Wheaties fuel chassis cam at the 1964 Amber Award winner as America's Most Beautiful Roadster. Wow.
Mark, yesterday I described this car as the Model T Henry Ford never dreamed of.
Wow, that's a piece of jewelry. That is spectacular.
You know, I've heard different things over the years about how manufacturers feel about their products being heavily customized. What's Ford's attitude?
Well, you know, from our standpoint, first and foremost, it's very important. Whatever product comes out of our plants, it's got to have the best quality. And the team has done a really good job over the last number of years. But, you know, it's all up to what the customer wants to do. So we actually engineer our cars so that not only do we provide a lot of accessories, but we make it easy for third parties to accessorize and come out with products. You go to SEMA, and you can see that in spades. I mean, with the accessories for Ford vehicles is probably there's the most selection of any manufacturers. So, you know, we make it easy for folks to add accessories and accessorize the products.
You know, one of the things I love about this hot rod on the stage is that it still looks the way it did in 1964. Sometimes as time goes on, people begin to change and modify hot rods. This one is a piece of history, and they have the good sense to leave it that way so it can move on and stay that way.
One of the most historical hot rods of all time. We're blessed to have it here. Ken's sitting there, I'm sure, on his bed, watching this thing from home.
Someone, was probably Robert Parker, who gave me a statistic at a recent Barrett Jackson that said that the Ford Mustang is the most modified car of all time. There are more modified and customized Mustangs running around on the streets than any other automobile ever.
Yeah, of course, Robert's the answer man, so of course he's right. But, you know, it's also when I meet people all over the country and I say I work for Ford, I always get a story around, you know, my first car was a Mustang, or I helped my dad work on his Mustang. So I think that's probably pretty true. There's lots of folks that spent lots of time in their garages working on it with either their dad, their grandfather, or whoever.
A lot of interest in this Model T Custom.
$78,000, $80,000. all and 80, 78,000. Anybody else and all in and all down $80,000 here. 80,000 down and 80 here. Hammers up 80,000 and $78,000 and now 80 here. $80,000 on them now 80 here. Last and final call 80,000. 80,000. Who am I missing? $80,000 on them and I have. $78,000.
$78,000. I like your description, Mark. A piece of jewelry.
Don't go away, because the beat goes on as Tammy buys a pair of Barrett Customs.
Even after all these years, Cher remembers her Mustang.